Evening, everybody. Matt Geary here for the Geek Pride cast on this Monday evening. With me tonight, we have my co-host, Peter Ray Allison.
Good evening, everyone.
And back again, Greig Robertson, a.k.a. Darth Elvis.
Hot dang! How's it going, everyone?
I'm trying to think.
It's been too long since I heard that.
When was it we had you on last? What year was it? 2021, 22? Did we have you on?
21. It was 2021.
Yeah, because I was in my rented place, I think, still when we did it and stuff. Yeah, it was. So, Greg, for anybody who didn't watch it the first time, who are you? What do you do?
Shame on you for not watching.
Who are you? What is it you do?
So, my name's Greg. I'm based up in the northeast of Scotland, the Outer Rim territories, as they would call it. But
north of the wall.
North of the wall. I'm, I guess, better known as Darth Elvis, Star Wars parody artist, Sith rock and roll king, Dark King of the Sith. Many different acronyms and names and titles, and so yeah, I do Star Wars themed parody songs and some originals as well. Been doing that. This will be 16 years this year now. Yeah, it started in 2007 at the original Star Wars Celebration Europe, July 2007, and yeah, been doing it ever since, and releasing music all the time, and not gigging so much now, as we'll probably cover off later on. I'm retiring from gigging soon, but yeah, still going to be releasing music. New track coming out this Wednesday for example.
Yeah, because the first time I saw you, I think was about 10 years. It must have been about 10 years ago at Sci-Fi Weekender.
Yeah,
and I'm thinking, Elvis, Star Wars, how is this going to work? And it did. Wonderfully.
Thank you very much.
And no, there was that song "Falling to Pieces" by Faith No More, which you covered as what was it? Cloud City's Falling to Pieces, wasn't it? No, Falcon's Falling to Pieces.
Falcon's Falling to Pieces. Yeah.
And it just seared into my mind.
Well, I'm hoping to. That's one I've never recorded, and that is one that I'm hoping to record in the next couple of months.
Oh, excellent.
It's been one we haven't done since, I think, or I haven't done since that around that time. So it's been about 10 years, and Mike Patton's one of my vocal heroes. So absolutely need to record.
So good.
Yeah,
so good. I just Faith No More, Mr. Bungle. What's the other?
Phantom Ass,
Tomahawk. Yeah, Tomahawk. Yeah.
And
he obviously did Dillinger Escape. He did a thing with Dillinger Escape Plan as well. The Come to Daddy covers. Amazing, so good.
Oh, and also he does like voice acting work, like the screams and everything. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
No, it's fantastic. So yeah, definitely that would be one getting recorded. But yeah, it's crazy. 10 years is it's unbelievable. And this I guess announced kind of today. It's not really been announced. It's kind of leaked out. They haven't really announced it, but I'll be joining Blues Harvest on stage at the next Sci-Fi Weekender next month. So
they're so good, Blues Harvest. They're really good.
I saw Blues Harvest last week.
Excellent.
At the Mandalorian Forge. They were the band that were playing there.
Nice one. You were there. Brilliant. I gutted I didn't get to go to that because it would have been fantastic.
Beskar.
I got the Beskar. It's weighty stuff. I mean, it's like some excellent detail on it.
That is brilliant.
And got decent weight for years. I was there literally. It's one of those brilliant moments of synchronicity where I had to be in London for a tech conference on Thursday with the kind of pre-event social the evening before, which just happened the 2 days that the Mandalorian Forge was in London. I said, "Would you like to come down a bit earlier, Mr. Allison?" I went, "Yes, please."
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, so basically, arrived in London 12, walked straight over to Piccadilly Circus where the forge was, and then just waited to be let in. I don't have any tickets. I'm going to wait an hour and a half.
Did you wait an hour and a half? Did you wait an hour and a half?
Well, I got there at 12:30 to outside. It didn't open until 2. I was the first one there.
That's dedication for you, Pete.
And I'm just going, I am such a nerd. But
worth the wait, though.
It was worth it. I mean, like...
that camera thing that you did, the video you put on, that was awesome. That was really good.
Yeah. I got to wield the Darksaber.
Nice.
And they had like this rotoscope, like, no, it's a camera that was held, that whirled round, upside down, and everything. And you're meant to stand there and like wield the Darksaber. And I know Kung Fu. And we're doing, I'm learning a form at the moment called the back cow, where we use the bokken, a wooden training sword. So I just start wielding that around.
Yeah, you can tell, Pete, to be honest, that you know how to use a sword, even a bit, because the way you flicked it at the start, and it's just like, yeah, okay. He knows how to
knows what he's doing.
He knows how to use it.
Oh, yeah, and the guy at the end goes, that was good. That's turned to I know Kung Fu. Channeling my inner Neo. Yeah, but the Blues Harvest was there. They had the Forge there, like, where you get Beskar, and a bar with serving free drinks, including blue milk and the Mandalorian cocktail. And I was in my happy place.
Yeah.
Until the boy went, come, sir, you have to leave now. You have to let others in. Like,
No.
That's why I didn't get an invite, because they don't let the Scotsman near a free bar. So.
Oh man, wow, yeah. I went to a free bar. We were at the guys from Sneaky Zebra got us invited to Free Black Dot after party at San Diego Comic-Con, and it was a free bar. Oh man, it was messy, like so messy. An Irishman. And Gary he's originally Irish as well, so it's just like drinking, lots of booze, just absolutely smashed. Never felt so horrible in my entire life. It just grim, absolutely grim. I can't deal with hangovers anymore either now, so I just don't drink as much. And it's just like they're one-offs, which I'll regret for weeks, and then that's sort of kind of. I'm not like in my teenage years where it's like, we were thinking back about it the other day. It's like when we were in university, you used to go out. It was the Ritz on Monday, Satan's on Tuesdays, the place called the Jam on Wednesdays. You had Thursdays was Rock Kitchen, not Rock Kitchen, was Jilly's Rock World. Fridays was Jilly Rock World. Saturdays was Rock Kitchen. Sunday was a day of rest. So it's like 6 days out of 7. We were just constantly fucked.
You made a very shocking statement early. You said you were no longer live gigging after bringing the live gigs to an end. Why is that?
Well, a few reasons. Obviously, family life and stuff. I've got wife and 3 boys up here, and my bandmates are kind of scattered across the country now. Obviously, it was it'll be 5 years this year that the Imperials broke up, and the Darth Elvis and Friends guys. We've got Andy from Blues Harvest. He's one of the guys in the group, and Carl. You may not have met, Mooncat Drums. He's my podcast partner. He's in Birmingham, so obviously northeast of Scotland, northwest England, and Birmingham down in the.
Oh, it's cast to the 4 winds.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a logistic nightmare, and I'm saying retiring from public performances. I might still do the odd private gig now and again. If Lucasfilm, if you're listening, Disney, I'm available to come to the ranch. I do rap parties, but yeah, it was, I think, #Cantina, the first one, which is a big gig we did back in 2016 for Star Wars Celebration Europe 3 in London. We did that it was Ash and, again, Blues Harvest on the bill.
Nice.
Still to this day, out of all the bands I've been in and all the gigs I've done, UK, US, all over, it's still my favourite gig I've ever done. So when #Cantina 2 was announced, I kind of thought, well, I've been thinking about it. This is the good time to go out, because going out in a high, I don't want to kind of, fizzle out what I do, like a big final show, and nothing bigger. I don't, apart from play Skywalker Ranch. Then #Cantina 2, getting to perform with Ash again and Blues Harvest. Obviously, Level Up Leroy, our good friend, and DJ Elliott, as well. So that was like written in the stars. I think that was the right show to go out on, and so that's 9th of April, final show.
Yeah. I mean, do you have regrets, or just kind of like, are you feeling like it's time to kind of put the cloak up and just kind of like step back from live gigs for a bit?
Yeah, step back. It might be for. I might end up coming out. I'll probably I'll do the gig. I'm like, oh, why have I done that?
Always happens.
Yeah.
Always
Why
happens.
and then I'll be like, okay, get a band back together and let's get back out there. But for the moment, that's me kind of like, focus more on recording music videos, getting stuff out there online, and take a step back from gigging and then see what happens down the line.
Excellent.
If I change my mind, I'll be back out there. But
brilliant. Yeah, never say never, basically.
Never say never. No, I'm trying to get fit and training and all that. So if I get to the Elvis 68 comeback, waist size, I'll be ordering that leather jumpsuit and I'll be straight back out there.
I'm biking 3 times a week. I am like doing kung fu once a week. So yeah, if you get down to that, then I will do it. I won't be in a leather jumpsuit because that's not like you do not want to see.
Yeah, I just I used to be quite good gym wise, and I was sort of in a good place. Now, like, just been eating so much shit all the time, and it's just like the only joy I get in life is eating chocolate and crap, and I'm just sitting there just not doing any sort of exercise. I need to get back on it. I need to get lose 5 kilograms. I think I need to get rid of.
I've got my mate he's ex-army now, and he's got a home gym, so he's kind of like 3 days a week I'm at his house, personal training me to get me into shape.
Is he like one of those drill sergeant types where like get down and give me 100?
Yeah, he's not quite so bad as that, but he has his moments, definitely.
Unforgiving.
Yeah, well, the army like fitness test is pretty grim. Like I when I was younger, I was going to join the army, and for everybody else, when they did work experience, went off and worked in an office or worked in a bakery or worked somewhere normal. I took myself to the army for a week and then trained in the army for a week, and we had to do the army fitness test. And this was back in the day when I was fit and I played rugby and stuff like that. So I came second out of like 76 people, but it was just like it was horrible. Like I was physically sick afterwards. It was pretty bad.
Not putting you off exercise, are we, Greg?
No, I'm sticking to it.
Nice one.
Yeah, no, it's doing me good so far, so I'm gonna stick with it.
Excellent.
I'm drinking the
Iron Brew,
sugar-free version.
Oh, is that what extra is? Iron Brew Extra? I thought it'd be sacrilege in Scotland, especially Glasgow.
No, Diet Iron Brew is terrible, but Iron Brew Extra is pretty good. Extra taste, no sugar. Bars, if you're listening, I'll take a sponsorship deal. You can sponsor Geek Pride as well.
And we had a Scottish mate called Kev from Dumfries, and he would call his wall of brew, and it was basically every can of Iron Brew he drank when we were in University of Salford. He stacked on a wall in his university, in our halls, and by the end of university he had literally covered the entire wall with iron brew cans. That was just mad.
Sounds like a good lad.
Yeah. Very, very, very patriotic about his Iron Brew. Like there was no, like, I love Iron Brew, but this was like another level of loving Iron Brew, you know.
It's the greatest drink in the world.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, given you're based in Scotland, Sci-Fi Weekend is based in Great Yarmouth. How are you getting there?
Yeah.
How long is that driving? Because it's 5 hours from where I am in Manchester. 5 hours. It's got to be easy. It takes me
10.
Yeah,
10
about because
10, 11 hours, I think. Yeah. I've never done it before. So this is my first time at Weekender in Yarmouth.
Yeah.
The times that the past I've played, it's always been at the Wales. Cliffwelly, yeah. And or Sheffield at the Sci-Fi.
Oh yes, Sci-Fi. Yeah, I remember you gigged. That was a good one as well.
Yeah, so this will be the first one in Great Yarmouth. But yeah, there's a good few friends in Aberdeen come down every year, so we're kind of mini bus sharing.
Ah, nice.
Driving down, setting off Wednesday, I think Thursday morning, about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my goodness me!
And driving through the night.
Ooh, are you going to be there for the SFW Awards?
Yes.
Oh,
We should
brilliant
for that. So that'll be good fun. It'll be my first time. They've not been doing the awards long, have they?
No, it started 2019. Then the pandemic came, which kind of stopped it until November last year. So yeah, the SFW Awards are kind of like the sort of in-house celebration for, acts and personalities that, have made an impact on Sci-Fi Weekender.
Cool. Yeah, no, looking forward to that. I'll be good. And I see Leroy's going to be DJing afterwards, which is always great.
Yeah, I mean, he's DJing afterwards. Also DJing Saturday night as well, and it's a really good lot of acts. We've got yourselves headlining Friday night, and so I'm really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Got it. I'm not going. Got it. It's just like, it seems, because every time, because we've had some really good guests on, including yourself, and they all say it seems like all roads lead to Sci-Fi Weekender and stuff. There's just so many sort of like, interesting people, sort of obviously congregate in that sort of convention. And yeah, I've not been. I was tempted to go when it was in Wales, and then obviously it moved to Great Yarmouth, and I'm like, oh, that's a long way away for Matt. It's 5 hours and stuff. I'm just thinking, Great Yarmouth.
But
one big happy family, isn't it? Really,
it is very much so. There's a really powerful community spirit there. People just get to know each other. There's no barriers between guests and attendees. It's just we're all here. We're all here to celebrate our love of science fiction, fantasy, and horror. And it really comes across. You just find yourself talking to random people, and like having shots with Emily Booth.
Yeah.
Which was like, I met comic book artists and he's standing around having a few drinks and offered me a cigarette. And like, no thanks.
Yeah, I think that the year Emily Booth was there, I randomly appeared on stage with her doing, I can't remember what it was. Was it a quiz, or was it not even like it was a talent contest or something?
Yeah.
Can you come up on stage and do, what? Okay. Sit there next to Emily. Okay, I'll sit next to Emily.
Emily is lovely, though. She's a really lovely person. Quite terrifying, but lovely all the same.
Yeah.
And so
I was going to say, a bit of a random thing, but talking about cigarettes, I got offered a cigarette from Lance Hendrickson once when we went to a convention. We were out sort of like talking to him, and then he was like, because we had to go outside because he wanted to smoke, and then like, I'm sorry, Lance Hendrickson, I don't smoke.
I've got a Lance Henriksen story as well. Funny enough.
Oh,
I was at Glasgow filming Comic-Con, and I was in the queue to get his autograph, and my wife was trying to phone me as I'm literally at front of the queue. I was like, Holly, I'll call you back. I'm just waiting to meet Lance Henriksen, and then I hung up on her. And then Lance is like, oh no, let's phone her back. And she didn't pick up. You left her a message on her phone. But
no way, it's amazing.
Lance Henriksen is really.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's Bishop Holly.
Record that message and save it.
Yeah, totally. She never did, I don't think, sadly.
Oh no, that's sacrilege.
Yeah.
I mean, I see. You're very big into Star Wars, obviously, for some strange reason. What's your current perception? Oh, very nice.
Mandalorian shirt on, yeah.
Are you looking forward to the Mandalorian on Wednesday?
Yes, big time. Can't wait. It's kind of spoiled at the moment because we've obviously had the Bad Batch on since the 4th of January.
Oh, yeah.
I just haven't got into the animated stuff for some reason. I never watched the Clone Wars when it came out, and then somebody said, like, you need to watch the Clone Wars, and I watched the first season and a half and was just like, it's not doing much for me. And then it gets better as it goes along, and I'm like, I'm currently just, I wasn't like, I didn't hate it, but I was just zoning out and doing other things when it was sort of on. I was just like, it wasn't sort of gripping me, if you get that and stuff. But
no, 100%. Clone Wars just improves as it goes on, and same with, because we Star Wars Rebels as well.
Rebels is fantastic,
really good. Star Wars Resistance, you can maybe give that a bit of a wide berth. It's not...
Yeah, it was very odd. I think it was very, very much aimed at children.
Yeah.
It was very kind of a child Star Wars. Bad Batch is very much of the same ilk as Clone Wars,
yeah,
but with a slightly different tone, I think.
Yeah. So it's quite exciting to have. We're going to have Bad Batch and Mandalorian on a Wednesday for sort of 8 weeks or whatever.
Did you watch
but yeah,
Andor? Did you watch Andor?
Oh, loved it as well.
Yeah.
So good.
That's fantastic.
Really, really enjoyed it. Like, I think it's possibly one of my favorite live action. Like, Mandalorian's amazing, but I love Andor. I thought it was really good because I love Rogue One. Rogue One's like one of my favorite films, you know. But Andor was just so good, so good.
Really good. And I was excited to see Scotland on film in Star Wars, which was great.
Whereabouts was it filmed?
So there's a couple of locations. They filmed in Glen Tilt, which is sort of Highlands, Perthshire, kind of Perthshire bit released out in the Highlands. And they filmed the what's that episode called? In fact, it's on my laptop. Aldani, I think it's the planet, the one with the eye, you know, with the kind of fireworks. That's the Cruachan Dam in Argyll and Bute.
Nice.
So I went to visit there May last year before Andor came out, and they were due to start shooting on the Monday, I think. So they had gun turrets and things set up and like security guards watching it. But I was like, no, you can't take photos and you can't take video, and you know, don't touch it. And okay.
snap. Did you play the "Don't you know who I am" card?
No, I was getting like warnings from the guy. He's like, "Oh, I'm a bouncer for like all these big gigs at the Glasgow at Hydro and stuff." And I says, "Could I not just climb on it?" And I says, "Oh, I'd have to build a rugby tackle." You know, I was like, "Well, it'd be worth it, really."
Totally worth it.
But no, it's a great location if you get the chance to go and check it out. It's really nice. It's just a heck of a walk. I never totally underestimated how long it would take to get up to the top where that was, and I was at the point of giving up and turning to go home when I said to my teenager who's with me, I went, if it's not round this corner, let's give up and go back down because we're going to be doing this forever. And we turned the corner, and thankfully there it was. It was worth it.
What did your teenager say when he saw it?
Oh, he was. He's obsessed with Star Wars as well, and especially sort of Clone Wars era stuff. That's what he grew up with, and so he loved Andor as well. The fact there was some clones in there too. And obviously, Bad Batch is right up his street. So,
of course,
what age is your son?
He's 16 this year.
Oh wow!
But I've got two younger ones as well. 7-year-old who's now getting into Clone Wars, and 8-year-old who's not quite into Star Wars at the moment. But you know,
give it time. Give it time.
Time and work to do there, but we'll get there.
Is your missus into Star Wars?
Yeah, she's a fan as well. Not quite as obsessive as myself and Elliot, but definitely up there. Definitely up there. Big fan of sci-fi and fantasy stuff in general. In fact, I knew I was going to marry her the night we kind of first got together because she went back to our house and she was like, "What video do you want to watch, Flash Gordon or Tron?" I was like,
"You're a keeper.
You're a keeper.
That's
You're
my
a
girl."
Keeper." We interviewed oh god, what's his Flash Gordon, what's his bloody name?
Sam Jones.
Sam Jones, yeah, Sam Jones. I've got his phone number actually in my phone.
No, we're not going to share that on the podcast.
Yeah, but like it was really random. I don't even know how it came about, but he did like Huddersfield Comic-Con or something, or no, a thing with the Flash Lives or you know, or something like that. It was something I got for some reason. I got sort of offered to interview with him, and they went, so he's currently doing sort of like mercenary business because he does sort of like private security stuff. Like as his other is like his job. He's like a private security company, and he was in Mexico doing private security and stuff. And they gave me his phone number, and I rang him, and it was just like nothing was happening. It was some weird tone and stuff. It's like, oh, I have Flash Gordon's phone number, and I had the Flash sound and everything on it and stuff. Just sort of like just in case he phoned me, you never know, and then that would pop up and stuff. And then like I didn't get through. I was like, oh god, it's too good to be true. And then like I was driving to the shop, and then I just got this call, and all I hear is Flash. I was like, holy shit, holy shit. Sam Jones is phoning me. Sam Jones is phoning me. So I quickly got back to my house, picked up the phone, and he's like, hey, Matt. And I was just like, yeah. And he's just like, sorry, I'm in Mexico and blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, holy shit. So I was talking to him while he was in Mexico doing private security work about Flash Gordon. And I was just like, that was cool. That was so cool.
Yeah, I mean, how did you first get started as Darth Elvis? So if you've probably answered this like numerous times, and apologise, but I think for our listeners, how did you kind of first feel the pull of the dark side, so to speak?
So obviously, I've been a lifelong Star Wars fan, and I've been a singer all my life, but bands since I was like 15 years old. I'm almost 45 now.
48.
You're nearly 50, Pete. Oh god!
No, keeping up. Yeah, so also been at music as well. But 2005, I got a painting from a friend, and it was mixing two of my loves, Elvis and Star Wars. That's always essentially what I wear or used to wear on stage. I'm slightly changed now. White jumpsuit, the robes, and the glasses, and red lightsaber. And that was like, there's something there. And then kind of thinking more about it, and that was back in 2005, so 2 years before I started getting out in public performing. Realised 1977 was the year Elvis died, the year Star Wars came out. The guy who directed the 68 comeback special for Elvis also directed the Star Wars holiday special. There's all these kind of little things kind of coming together. And then song words just started popping into my head for some of the Elvis numbers. And that kind of snowballed. And then I spoke to some of my old bandmates and some of the guys I used to manage in other bands and stuff. Like, do you fancy doing something with this and putting something together? And that's how we did the first Star Wars Celebration Europe, which was just me to a backing track. But we'd recorded the tracks with Nish, who was the bass player, Darth Elvis and the Imperials, and the old drummer in my previous band prior to that, and guitarist from that band as well. So that was how we all got started, and then kind of snowballed from there. It was Darth Elvis, and it was Darth Elvis and the Tatooine Trio, and it was Darth Elvis and the Imperials, and now obviously it's Darth Elvis and Friends, with obviously Darth Elvis now and again when I'm doing my own thing without the other guys. So it just kind of snowballed, and then obviously we did Elvis songs for a long time only, and then some other random Star Wars parody songs started popping into my head. Faith No More, Falling to Pieces, Electric Six Gay Bar, which is turned into a bit of a big fan favourite. Kanja Club as well, like Green Day, Paradise and stuff. And it was just a band practice. I'd be in the room and then be singing one of the songs, and I'd be like, stop, and then go, oh, hang on. And I'd sing a line, and it's like, the guys would be rolling about. It's like, right, that's next. We're doing that next. It's coming. And it's just kind of gone from there. But
how do the royalties work for parody songs?
I don't get anything.
You don't get anything? All right, okay.
No, well, so we don't typically. So we put out a CD back in 2016, I want to say. Yeah, 2016 we released 4 Darth Elvis and the Imperials, and we did physical copies, and it's on Spotify, but it's not on like Apple Music or anything like that due to the licensing issues and stuff. We'd have to. Too late now. If we pay a certain license fee per song, and then you can then release that to like Apple Music and stuff. But because the band's broken up, I'm not going to do that now. But yeah, it's the same with YouTube. You obviously get copyright claims when I put out the parodies. It's only the original like Christmas singles I've done that we would see any money on if it ever got to that point. But yeah, I think you would get a share, but you'd have to have a lot of streams and stuff to get to that point.
Yeah.
It's like 0.008.
Oh man, it's grim. Like my band's been on there for years. I don't think we've seen a penny. It's just sort of like now and again we get a little bit sort of thing, but yeah, you get an awful unless you're hitting millions of listens. Then
yeah, it's not worth it. Yeah, so Christmas singles we did in the past, very little came through from that as well. But one was for ourselves, the other one was a charity. And that's always gone back to the charity and stuff.
So it's just a labour of love then?
Yeah, it's absolutely. It's never been a money-making thing for me. It's all about sharing my love of Star Wars and passion for music, and a way of saying thank you to George Lucas for inventing Star Wars and keeping me entertained all this time. Not that he's ever going to hear me perform, but you never know.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, you've had some fantastic moments, and those memories will live on, for the rest of your life. I mean, you've met Carrie Fisher,
yes,
for example, and others. So I mean, you're going to think. I mean, I still remember the time like bouncing around to Darth Elvis and the Imperials at Sci-Fi Weekend in the city, and then I think Darth Vegas joining me on me and PT on the dance floor, bouncing around together. We became known as the Dancing Pete's.
The Dancing Pete's, yeah. I need to get that happening again. Yeah, no, it's fantastic memories. And obviously, I'm not no plans on stopping doing Darth Elvis. Just as I say, stop pulling back in the gigs. But yeah, I've been lucky to play some fantastic shows. Obviously, Weekenders, Star Wars Celebration Europe in London.
Yeah.
Star Wars Celebration in Chicago and Anaheim. And as I say, hashtag Cantina was definitely the highlight for me. And this year's going to be even better. Hashtag Cantina 2 is shaping up to be great.
Yeah.
I'll give you a bit of rundown for what's happening with that. So obviously I mentioned earlier, DJ Elliott's performing. He's the stage host for the main stage at Celebration. But he's also he DJs MCMs and read pop events all over the world. He's one of the official Disney World DJs. Disney World, Florida, the Florida Disney World, Disney. I can't remember Disney World, Disneyland, whatever. Florida. So he's DJing. Obviously, Level Up Leroy doing one of his video DJ sets. Blues Harvest and myself performing together. Blues Harvest have got Mike Quinn joining them for a song as well. Who you might know as Nine Numb.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, he's joining them for a song, and obviously Ash doing a special set, which is always fantastic.
Yeah,
I saw, and speaking of Kung Fu, I was Kung Fu Santa in December on stage with Ash in the Ulster Hall in Belfast.
Fantastic.
Oh, God,
yeah, that was. Yeah,
how'd that come about?
Well, since the first sort of hashtag Cantina, we've kind of become friends with Mark from the band due to our mutual love of Star Wars.
He is a massive Star Wars fan.
He's obsessed and has an insane collection of merchandise. But so every year I grow my beard at Christmas time, and I do like Santa videos, so local primary schools.
Oh, nice.
And because I'd grown my beard and I'd had the costume from the primary schools, I did some advertising for hashtag Cantina 2 in my Santa garb. Some a bit like fruity language and stuff, if you like. Calling Mariah Carey everything under the sun. And Mark saw those. I sent them to Mark, and he saw that's brilliant. And they had a gig in London a couple of days before Belfast. I was going to the gig in Belfast anyway. It was a 30th anniversary show. So Mark was backstage after the gig in London with a couple of my other pals. Martin, who's one of the organisers of Cantina. and Paul from Zampa Tracks, and they were talking about the Christmas gig in Belfast, and he says, "Oh, you should get Greg along. He's got a Santa suit." And he's like, and then the next day I got a message saying, "Pack the Santa suit." And I arrived in Belfast, and message Mark says, "That's me here." He says, "I'll come along to sound check at 5. Went to sound check. Originally, I was maybe going to be joining them to sing a song, but they had to cut the set down because they had so many special guests that night. They had like Jimmy Nesbitt and the Undertones, guitars from the Undertones, guitars from Snow Patrol. Some of their old school pals were up playing songs. So went into a band meeting like before. Like they were sorting out the set, taking some songs out, rearranging a couple of things, and like, "Do you want to come on for Kung Fu?" I says, I'll come on for the whole set, dressed as Santa if you want me to. And like, "Oh, come on." And I was like, "Cool." He says, "Do you want me, because I'm coming on to Kung Fu, do you want me to bust some like Kung Fu Santa moves?" And I was like, "Yes, do that." That was it.
No way.
What,
got it.
Finally, it was broadcast for BBC, I think BBC Sounds and BBC Northern Ireland. It was like streamed online and stuff.
All right, no way. It's on YouTube.
Oh, I don't know if it's on YouTube yet, but it was certainly on BBC. I don't know if it's still there.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
But yeah, it was a fantastic night.
I think everybody's got some sort of like in Northern Ireland. Everybody's got an Ash story. You just sort of got it. Sort of like, it's just like everybody knows somebody from Ash, and then there's sort of like there's always an Ash story. And the Ulster Hall, if you've grown up, that in Northern Ireland, there's some sort of drunken story about the Ulster Hall. Like I remember,
it's a great venue, fantastic.
Yeah, do you know what? I haven't seen any bands I really like there. If it's just because I was younger, I was just going because a lot of bands didn't come to Northern Ireland when I was growing up. It was hard to sort of like obviously around the Troubles, so you didn't get a lot of bands.
Yeah.
The bands that did, and like I'm not a massive fan of Placebo, but I saw Placebo like 2 or 3 times there because it's like it's a gig and there's going to be girls there, and and I'm a teenager, and this like we can get drunk and sort of like try my best to feel to get up with these girls, and so you go to the Ulster Hall, and I remember sort of going and getting like a load of like drinks, like loads of drinks, and then going, shit, we can't drink these going to the Ulster Hall. What we'll do is we'll put them behind this sort of like, there was this sort of kind of around the side of the Ulster Hall, there's like this sort of area where we could put our drinks and like nobody would know about it. We came out afterwards, went, oh, we'll go and get our beers and our cider and stuff, and it wasn't there. And we're like, oh, somebody's pinched it. Fuck. Oh. So we walked off, and we were beside the town hall. We were behind the town hall, and bumped into this homeless guy. And he was just like, boys. We're like, what? He's like, hey, guess what? I found a load of booze in the Ulster Hall. And he's sitting there with this big thing of cider where he literally just poured everything that was in there into this big sort of kind of used White Lightning bottle. And we were just like, that's our booze. You just drank what we should. Like, fine. All right. Okay.
That's a learning experience for you.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah.
You were paying it forward.
Yeah, that was it completely. That guy had a great night. We did. We had a great night.
Yeah, so hashtag Katina 2 obviously came around at Ash again. And yeah, so Star Wars Celebration's coming back to London in April. And this is taking place on the Sunday 9th of April at the Indigo at the O2.
Oh, nice.
Which I'm excited to perform on because Prince played there, and huge Prince fan. And across the hall from us that night, you've got Elton John playing at the O2. So you never know. Elton John.
You never know. You might want to.
Yeah.
No.
He might throw a tantrum because there's stormtroopers walking about the O2, and
Oh, that'll be hilarious.
But there's it's going to be a good night. The organisers obviously got Mark from Ash is one of the organisers, my pal Martin Keeler, who's got the world's only Constable Zuvio museum called the Zuvium. So if you're wondering anything about Constable Zuvio, go check out the Zuvium, his Zuvio museum. And Jed Shepherd is one of our organisers. I don't know if you know Jed Shepherd.
I know another name.
He's writer of Host and Dashcam.
That's why I know it. Yeah.
Writer, director, producer. Very much on the rise in his horror career. In fact, I think Host and Dashcam got voted the scariest movies of the last couple of years, and
Oh wow!
I think some science studies have been done, and Host's been named the most scariest film of all time or something. But yeah, they're organising it, and because of some of his background and contacts he's now got, there's going to be lots of photo ops and some impressive photo opportunities, I think, on the night, and they started announcing some signing guests for the gig as well. So it's going to be a good celebration of Star Wars.
Yeah, are you going to be Star Wars Celebration itself as well?
Yes, yeah. So again, taking my son that'll be his first.
Oh, nice
celebration. Although, kind of his second. He was at the first one, but inside my wife at the time. But that did get us a lot of bonuses because Holly was very pregnant at the time. We got let into the main stage early so she get a seat, and just as I was away to perform on stage, I was backstage. Kenny Baker came past and gave me that look of what the fuck? Seeing in my costume. But my wife got in a lift and Mark Hamill came wandering in, so she was just like, oh. Couldn't speak. She didn't know what to say. But yeah, that was handy. We got a lot of perks from Holly being pregnant at the first celebration in Europe. So be interested to take him. He's excited to go to his first one, and this will be my sixth one, I think.
Oh wow!
I've never been to one. It's just they've always fallen at times where there's been something else on, or I couldn't make it, and I was just annoyed that I've never been able to go.
It's getting tickets is the tricky thing now.
Yeah.
Sold out so fast this year. They've released some more not that long ago, but I think they sold out really fast as well.
Yeah, tickets sold, and also I think I get the impression that pretty much all the accommodation in London has been taken up by Star Wars Celebration attendees. So it's
costs a fortune as well.
Yeah. It was lucky because we were a few of the guys, myself and my podcast partner, were at Celebration Anaheim. Obviously, I did a gig there as well. We were sitting in the closing panel, sitting there going, if they announce London, we're going to book a hotel room straight away. And that's what happened. They announced London. We went straight on to Premier Traveling or whatever and booked a room. It's like, yes!
Yeah. There you go.
Get it up here!
Thinking ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the same room now is £400 or £500.
It's absolutely mad. You have to be able to book well in advance and stuff. But it's the same with I would love to go to Dragon Con, but as soon as that's announced, hotel rooms are just absolutely just up, and it's so hard. It was the same when we went to San Diego Comic-Con and stuff. It was all the hotels were absolutely hammered. That being said, we managed to get a what's it called, an Airbnb on sort of just outside of where it was, and it was actually quite cheap, and taxis were super cheap, so it wasn't too bad. I might try that with Dragon Con sometime if I can go outside of Atlanta somewhere.
Yeah, my pal got a good deal on accommodation. Again, Airbnb for Star Wars Celebration in Chicago, and it wasn't until that every single Uber driver, every single Uber driver dropped us off. I think bar one said, "Don't go out at night." Like, what? Says, yeah. Don't go out at night. You can't go out at night here. No, get in an Uber. Call an Uber, get in the Uber, go somewhere else. You can't go out at night here. And the first night we went out, it's 8 or 9 o'clock at night to go and get some food because we're traveled all that way, and right in the vicinity you had a McDonald's, you had a KFC, Domino's, Popeyes, all of them shut at 8 and 9 o'clock at night, and this was on a Wednesday night. It's what the hell's going on here? But it's just apparently lots of shootings in that neighborhood.
Oh wow.
Awesome.
We went to McDonald's. For breakfast, and there was armed security guard in the McDonald's breakfast time. I was like,
wow, that's mad.
Okay,
that's insane.
And we did get some food that night from a local chicken joint, but they were behind I'm guessing bulletproof glass and stuff.
Oh, that's insane, man. That's mad. That's mad.
Actually, speaking of America, what's been the reaction? Yeah, I mean, what's been the reaction to Darth Elvis from America compared to the UK?
Yeah, I know it's exactly the same. It's
Right,
fantastic.
okay.
So I've done 2 shows over there. Both it's like celebration Tide events. So the costume groups always put on a big party each year.
Yeah.
So the one in Chicago is again with Blues Harvest. We played the Museum of Science and Industry.
Oh, nice.
Which was the weirdest venue to play, but fantastic.
Yeah.
And it was like 3,000, Star Wars fans, costume group guys and girls there. And the atmosphere was amazing. Folk were singing along with all the songs. I got a conga line going around the venue. And in Anaheim last year, it was a band called the Flux Capacitors.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I've heard them.
They do a lot of sort of corporate gigs. They're on that. There's a Back to the Future documentary. Used to be on Netflix. They're on that, and they've done stuff with Ghostbusters and Stranger Things. They've been involved with official parties for those.
Oh, nice.
Licensees and stuff. So played with them in Anaheim. Yeah, the same thing. The audience is singing along to Chief Palpatine, and somebody came up to me after the gig and was like, it was worth like the $125 for this ticket just to hear Akbar. That was amazing. But it's great. I've always had great reaction from UK, US, whatever.
Yeah.
It's always been. Doug, I've very few negative comments in 16 years, which has always been.
Yeah, well, there's going to be that one person that just goes, no, I don't like this. I am a purist, and I think it must be done properly. Like, no, just no. Enjoy, evolve, expand.
We used to play in a bar in Manchester, and there was a guy who was there every gig non-stop, but he fucking hated us. And it was just like, but he was only there because that was his drinking place, and he wasn't going irrespective of who was playing, so it didn't matter that there was a heavy metal band playing there. He was just going to sit there and give us dirty looks and mouth off to us and stuff, because that used to be his bar before it turned into a rock bar and stuff. It was just like...
I've had a couple of weird things happen at gigs. So I did a gig in Aberdeen, hometown. I think it wasn't a charity gig. It was a local Aberdeen all-day event, for kind of mini festival thing in one venue. And this guy came up to us after the set and said, "I hate Star Wars. I hate Elvis. Will you play my wedding?"
That's amazing. Did you play his wedding?
We played his wedding. He's divorced now. They're divorced now. But
okay.
It wasn't me. And then another time we did a gig in this really rough pub in Inverness, and obviously I come on stage with my white Elvis jumpsuit and with my robes and stuff, and the entire set, we played I think 90 minutes to maybe 2 hours set in this place. The entire set, this guy stood in front of the bar directly opposite me shouting, "Johnny Cash! Johnny Cash!" I'm like going,
yes.
No?
Wow.
We get some characters at our shows, that's for sure. Yeah.
Well, you've got to see, that's the thing. Leaving the whole live thing, I understand it, because it can take a lot out of you, and we didn't even tour that much, but it can take a lot of energy, and but you're gonna miss, obviously, because
those experiences,
even the sort of kind of quirky bad ones are good. I've got so many good memories of going to different areas of the country and playing gigs and stuff, and just sort of even the crappy gigs were great, because you've got those memories, and I guess you don't get those anymore when you don't play them.
Yeah. There's a part of me who thinks oh well, if I stop doing Darth Elvis live, will I do something else musically? So I can still get out and gig. I haven't really thought too much about it. I'm going to wait to get these gigs done. Obviously, Sci-Fi Weekender, it's going to be a blast. And my last appearance there, which is sad in itself. But I think, as I said, hashtag Cantina 2 is going to be the right one for me to retire on. But as I say never. I know somebody will pick up. I mean, I've already been booked for my first private gig after retirement. I can't tell you what exactly. It's nothing.
Yeah.
It's exciting, but I can't tell you what it is.
A Saudi oil baron, and yeah.
Show me the money. No, so yeah, first private one, but yeah, I think I'll see how I'm feeling after that, and keep working, keep putting music out there.
Yeah.
And when the mood, if the mood comes back to, I need to get back out there doing it again, or the right gig comes up, yeah, I'll maybe dust off the robes and get back out there. But
so we may very well have Darth Elvis, Revenge of the Sith.
Maybe. I'm thinking there's at some point there might have to be a Darth Elvis comeback special. As I say, get the leather jumpsuit on, but I need to get the right waistline, get some hair.
You can't have mine.
So get on a tanning bed or something. With a
what does your wife think about you sort of kind of giving up the live stuff?
She's fine with it. I think she realizes that I'm going to miss it. Yeah, I think I've been a bit up and down, mental health and stuff during COVID and stuff hit me, and yeah, I try and carry the weight of the world on my shoulders too much, and that was getting to me in my head for band stuff as well. I was thinking about things too much, and one reason I was on Facebook constantly, so I'm now off. I came off Facebook as well.
Yeah.
Darth Elvis is still on Facebook, but it's, you know, I've got the other guys looking after that, or I'm looking after it via Instagram, which I'm still on. But came off Twitter and came off Facebook just to kind of clear the mind and stuff, and try to mellow myself out a wee bit, and you know, the exercise and stuff's helping with that as well.
You have to do it.
I mean, I was going to ask, like, how did you find lockdowns? Was it, you said, like, no, it's kind of impacted your mental health. I mean, was it quite just rough in general? Well, it was rough for everyone, to be fair.
Yeah, it's rough for everyone. I think it was quite a creative period for me, because although I wasn't out gigging, I was still writing and recording stuff. I bought, in fact, sitting across from me is my sort of some recording gear I used to record mics, vocals at home, which I bought during lockdown. And I would never have ever considered doing that in the past. So for that, I think it was good creatively for me. It's opened up sort of avenues for me to do like home recording. I've got into, you know, editing stuff on my laptop a bit more. Did a lot of virtual gigs. There was a sci-fi weekender virtual.
Sci-fi in the sky, wasn't it? Yeah.
That's it, in the sky. I did that and a couple of sci-fi con, did a virtual thing for that. I don't know if you've heard of a bar in LA called Scum and Villainy Cantina. It's like
yeah.
No, but I want to go there.
It is brilliant. It's decked out like the cantina.
Oh, nice.
So I went there back in 2018 and fell in love with the place. But during lockdown, they do like a karaoke night on a Thursday, so they did that virtually whilst lockdown was on.
Oh, nice.
So I kind of got involved in that, just doing Darth Elvis stuff, and it was good because, you know, every week folk would be like, "Oh, is Darth Elvis going to appear?" And here I was, and like, you know, got really excited. So that was cool. That kind of kept the mood up, you know, when you weren't out there performing. So that definitely helped. And as I say, recording and some of the other crazy stuff that happened during lockdown, like Bill and Ted Face the Music came out. I managed to get my video of my family and myself.
Yes, you were
in the end credits.
You were in the end credits, weren't you?
Holy shit, were you?
Yes.
Yeah, in the end credits. And I also did a Guinness World Record attempt with like a virtual air guitar. The world's most it's in the Guinness World Records of the most simultaneous air guitarists in one sitting. So I've got a certificate upstairs.
That's mad. Yeah. That's really good, man. Yeah, cool.
So just like, you know, sort of crazy things came up in lockdown, which, you know, possibly wouldn't have happened. So it was, although it was not a good time for everyone, we, you know, made the best of it, and It was had some good times. Homeschooled the kids, which
Oh
was
yeah.
Oh yeah, man. A lot of people,
which was
Pete included, weren't too keen on the whole.
yeah.
It was. I mean, to be fair, my eldest, I basically said, right, here's the laptop. You know what to do. You got Google Classroom. You just go and do it. Got any questions? Speak to us. Mike, like my second son, is going to. So my first son, good like laptop. You know what to do. Any questions? Speak to us. Rick, like was about 4 then. Right, we've got to sit down together and do school lessons, aren't we? So that basically that was me taking up for the day.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, my wife Katie would kind of come along and like take her help with Rick every now and then, so I could get some work done. Or if we've got all the work done, then right, I'd get some work done afterwards. But it took up a lot of time. But as you said, that there were kind of these moments of like where that just stand out for you. I mean, like say Sci-Fi in the Sky. I mean, like I couldn't make it during the day, but like, oh great, okay, Darth Elvis is on in the evening. Great, I'm gonna book that. And it was just great just listening to it. When my eldest's birthday, their 13th birthday was during lockdown. We couldn't go out. You couldn't have any friends. You couldn't celebrate or anything. But it was the same day as clap for the NHS. And like we live in a small village, and so everyone's come outside and clapping and banging pots and pans, and then everyone started singing "Happy Birthday" to my daughter.
Oh, cool.
That was you. So like I say, it was a horrific time, and I would not want to go for it again. But you've made the best of it, and these bright moments kind of stand out. I mean, my wife works.
I was gonna say, even Level Up Leroy he was doing like DJ sets in his house,
Yeah.
and that was cracking, and that became a bit of a family event. Once the two younger ones went to bed, my wife and Elliot would watch Leroy do his thing virtually and comment, and like he had a good little community going for that as well. So yeah, those sorts of things were great for. And me and my neighbours, I live in a very small village, and we would do doorstep shots. We would see what we've got in the house. What kind of random shots do we have? And we'd like pour some shots and run, leave them on their doorstep, ring the doorbell, and run home. And we'd just go, oh, shots. All these daft things, which kind of made it like it was
you made the best of it.
Made the best of the times, yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, like I've also remembered because especially in that first lockdown when there weren't that many cars on the road because people were really taking the lockdown seriously. I took my eldest out on the bikes, and she said, "Right, we are going to learn road safety for your bike," because there weren't barely any cars around, so we just took advantage of it. And I mean, my wife now works from home pretty much full time. I see more of her now than we ever did pre-pandemic. So it was a horrific time. Wouldn't want to see it again. I miss seeing my parents because they live 150 miles away. But no, we made the best of it that we could, and it's really impressive, like how the kind of very much the community kind of came together and supported each other, like the Sci-Fi in the Sky and like the Level Up Leroy's kind of virtual DJ events.
Yeah, it's been really good. And I was quite lucky I got furloughed from my work at the time, which at the time I was like, oh, and then obviously homeschooling, it's like, yeah. If I hadn't been furloughed, that would have been a nightmare.
Yeah.
But thankfully I was, and I had that time, and just to see the difference in the kids learning in that period was kind of rewarding enough to make it worthwhile, I think. But since then, after getting back to work, I left that job, and now I work from home full time. So
nice.
Which is great. And my wife's just got a new job, so she's going to be working from home most of the time as well. So we're both going to be here. So we'll be sick of the sight of each other. So I might be back gigging.
Just me, you kind of really appreciate just how much spending time together means you. I mean, I get to have my dinner with Curlia every day, and it's just fantastic. We didn't do that before because I'd be working from home, Kelly would be working in the office. Yeah. So you really do appreciate it.
Well, that's one of the good things. Like I think lockdown had a very sort of. There was a lot of it did affect the mental health a lot for a lot of people, But I think it had its sort of kind of plus sides. It changed how most people work these days, and like especially in my office, there was very much you have to wear a suit, you have to be in every day. Now and again you were allowed to wear your normal clothes. It's gone to now. I work from home pretty much full time now. I don't have to sort of. There's no issues with it. They've said you should come into the office two or three times a week, but they're not really that sort of bothered about it, and you don't need to wear a suit anymore, and there's a lot more flexibility when it comes to letting people do things and stuff. And I feel like I think I'm a bit more productive now because I'm not spending an hour and a half, 2 hours traveling, in the morning and then in the evenings to get back and forth from work and stuff. I'm being able to do a bit more. I can get up. I'm sleeping a bit better. I'll happily work a bit later now because I was going to be traveling at that point in time anyway and stuff, and so it's got its sort of silver lining, as it were.
I think it was very much a wake up call for a lot of people to kind of reevaluate their priorities and find out what's important for them. And I think in that case it was a plus as much as a pandemic can be a plus.
Like, don't get me wrong, I miss sort of the camaraderie, all the team I was with and stuff, got on with them really well and stuff, but I can still talk to people online and things like that, and the whole, like, I'm spending a small fortune on travel and stuff, and especially now considering my mortgage is going up about 200 quid a month, which is mad, and I'm on my own, so it's just like that's not great. So having to go into work and spending $1,000 a year on travel, as well as all the other stuff that goes on top of that, it's just like, I think I would have been broke if this had happened and I'd have to go into work, and there's no way I could afford to pay for this house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
One thing I was going to ask, it's like, Matt, you were saying?
No, Pete, carry on.
Okay, so you mentioned Falcon to Pieces coming out. Any other tracks you got lined up that you can talk about?
I've got a new one, as I say, coming out on Wednesday.
Can you say what it's called?
It's an oldie that I used to play, but it's a reworking of an oldie. So it's a little less disintegration. Remember to play that one?
Nice, I know that one. That's a fantastic one live.
So we used to do that one about Boba Fett, but I rewrote it a couple of years ago about The Mandalorian, and I've just never got round to doing anything with it. So I recorded that for the premiere of Mandalorian coming out on Wednesday.
Brilliant.
My teenagers edited a music video for it. They've got to get the family involved,
Absolutely.
I don't have to pay him. So he's done that for me, and I've just got to bang on some subtitles and get that loaded up for Wednesday. So
nice.
That's a Wednesday. I'm down Manchester way #middle of March to rehearse with Blues Harvest.
Okay, cool.
For Sci-Fi Weekender, and also obviously #Cantina 2. So whilst down there, there's a possibility I might do some recording as well with Andy for Darth Elvis and Friends. We've got a track in mind for that. One that's been on the back burner for 16 years. It's one I've always wanted to record, and now's the time to get it done. We had a wee get together last August in Andy's family. We've got a holiday home in Dumfriesshire. So we went down. We had a band practice in Dumfriesshire last August, and we played that song acoustically there, and I was like, oh yeah, the hairs were standing up. It's like finally getting to do this song.
Brilliant.
So that's the plan. We'll hopefully record that in March, and if we're lucky, maybe get that in April. But I don't want to rush it. I want to make sure it's
interesting.
Spot on.
Interesting.
So
interesting.
But other than that, I'm trying to get into a position where I'm recording more frequently, and I'm hoping to get to the point where I'll be releasing a new track every month, especially because I can do it from the house, and the guys can record their bits at home, or I've got other sort of backing track versions of some of the tracks I've done in the past, and some of the ones I've been toying with for years. One I'm also keen to do once I nail the vocals is I rewrote "Take on Me" by Aha, but it's Kenobi.
Yeah, I can see that works.
So yeah. Kenobi.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. So that's one. It's one I wrote that, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, and I've just never got around to doing anything with it. I'm just trying to decide if I'm going to do it the Aha way or is it Real Big Fish did it as a ska kind of version?
Yeah.
I'm swaying towards a ska kind of version at the moment.
Okay.
So yeah, I need to get that one done. There's lots of.
You could call it the Starkiller version. It would be really.
Yeah. I've got. When I started with Darth Elvis and Friends back, 2019, 2020, we started doing stuff together virtually again, like remotely. I wrote down a list of all the songs I've got lyrics for, or I've got partial lyrics for, or were just ideas that kick it about, and it was like well over 100 songs.
Oh wow!
And I gave them to Andy and Carl from the band, and Andy went through with a highlighter and went, yeah, green, definitely we need to do these, and yeah, amber, yeah, red, definitely not. There wasn't too many reds, but the red ones seemed to be heavier songs, the Metallica stuff I would be like coming up with. And...
Okay, Metallica Star Wars, that does sound awesome.
Enter Sand People.
Ah, yes!
So
do it.
There is there is a version of it on my YouTube, but it's hidden. It is on there, but I might put it out. I think it was a cosmic karaoke, the thing they did for Scum and Villainy.
Yeah.
And I think it was dressed as Santa Claus in the video. Again, random, but
I'm thinking of different Metallica songs you could do now. I'm just trying to think of ones like I'm just thinking Battery.
Will you have any merchandise or T-shirts or CDs with you at Sci-Fi Weekend or Cantina?
Sci-Fi Weekender, I will definitely have CDs. T-shirts, possibly. They're on order. It's just wherever the order arrives in time.
Of course.
I need to order some. I'm going to order some stickers next. But hashtag Cantina, definitely, if everything goes correctly, the T-shirts arrive. They should. Plenty of notice. T-shirts, patches, CDs, and stickers for hashtag Cantina. So. Because it's my final show, I got a special patch made called
nice.
The Last Dang, Darth Elvis and Carbonite on the patch, which was designed by John from Puppet Cinema.
Oh yeah, they're going to be at Sci-Fi Weekender as well, aren't they?
Yeah,
so nice.
So Andy's a multi-talented man, isn't he?
Yeah, very much.
Blues Harvest, Darth Elvis and Friends, Puppets, and just. Lots of merch for there, and obviously hashtag Cantina, they'll have their own merch, which the first event they didn't order enough, it sold out within minutes.
Well, set aside a medium T-shirt for me, please, if it arrives in time, and I will pick it up at Sci-Fi Weekend. Fingers crossed.
Will do. Yeah, hopefully I approved the proof today, so it's almost 3 weeks still to go, isn't it?
Yeah.
So. Fingers crossed. They're usually quite quick delivery, these guys. So.
And a CD, please.
CD, yeah. I'll have them with me.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
No, because I remember when it was first released, and it's one of those things that either you at an event or Alison would never seem to kind of mesh at the time when you had the CDs with you. And then I was telling my friends, listen, get a CD. I want a CD. And they forgot. So I was like...
Well, I've started putting all the stuff we're doing on Bandcamp as well. So nice. There's a Darth Elvis and Friends Bandcamp, and there's a Darth Elvis Imperials Bandcamp for the old album, Christmas singles. But yeah, so we did like Dancing Queen recently. One of our fans in America sent lyrics. That's the first time I've ever let somebody else write lyrics for a Darth Elvis song. but they were too good not to do.
Oh yeah. Oh nice.
So the song called Naboo Queen.
Very good. Yeah.
Another one I'm particularly proud of I did during lockdown was I'm a big fan of a podcast called Rebel Force Radio.
Yeah.
It's the biggest Star Wars podcast in the world. But I think it was the Bad Batch after shows, they started saying "chut chut" all the time, which was a line from Attack of the Clones. Anakin speaks to Watto, "Chut chut, Watto." So I rewrote Lionel Richie's "Hello," call it "Chut chut." Is it Shmi you're looking for? Which is Anakin's mum. There's a couple of lyrics in that I'm particularly proud of. So I needed a proper recording of that one as well. I did a rough recording for that. It's on YouTube, but I'll do a proper recording of that down the line.
Excellent. Oh, I'm definitely going to be checking them out when they're released.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Well, actually, before we go, because we didn't do this last time, we did. So we do this thing now where we have a bit of it's kind of like a pop quiz, like 20 questions sort of thing. So you choose a franchise, can be Star Wars, can be Star Trek, can be whatever you want, any sort of geeky franchise, as long as we understand what it is. And you choose a character, and then we've got 60 seconds to try and guess who that character is. So I will start you off with one. So basically, I will name a franchise. You have to name the character. You've got 60 seconds to try and guess. You can ask me questions, and I'll answer it back. And then, obviously, if you can think of one yourself. So, Pete, get thinking of one. Not too obscure, please, or not one. Pete either does super obscure that nobody understands, or so easy that you get it pretty much straight away. So, and then between one, please. So I will give you one. Obviously, Darth Elvis. So it's Star Wars. 60 seconds. Go.
Are you male or female?
Male.
Films. Are you in the films?
He's in a film, yes.
Are you in the prequels?
Nope.
Sequels?
No.
Original trilogy?
Originals, yes, he's in the originals.
Okay, are you in A New Hope?
Yes.
Are you in Empire Strikes Back?
Nope.
Are you in the Cantina?
Nope.
Are you in Return of the Jedi?
You're not in Return of the Jedi. He's not in Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
Are you an Imperial?
Nope.
Are you a rebel?
I am a rebel.
Okay. Are you human or alien?
Human.
Are you an X-Wing pilot?
I am an X-Wing pilot.
Are you Biggs?
I am not Biggs.
Are you Gold Leader? No. Are you Porkins?
I am Porkins. Very good. Yeah.
Very good.
Very good. Sit on the minute as well. Very good. So I am Porkins. Yeah.
That reminds me. So when Star Wars Rebels was announced, I was at Star Wars Celebration Essen in Germany, and Dave Filoni, showrunner, was on stage talking about Rebels, and you got to ask questions. You could send tweets and stuff. And my question was, will we see a skinnier version of Jack Porkins and find out how he became the man he is today? and that got asked on stage to Dave Filoni, and he said that actually did come up in the conversation.
Right, so Pete, have you got one for us?
I have, yep.
Okay, what's the franchise?
Star Wars.
Star Wars again?
You
okay.
had to ask.
Okay, right. So Star Wars again, 60 seconds, go. Original trilogy?
Yes.
Okay, are they in the prequels?
No.
Are they in sequels?
No.
Okay.
Are they in all three films?
Yes.
Neil?
Are you?
Yes.
Are you an Imperial?
No.
Are you a Rebel?
Yes.
Rebel films. And you're in all three films?
Yep.
Are you on board the Falcon?
No.
Are you? You say you're Imperial?
Nope. Rebel.
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 Sorry, Rebel. All three films.
Yeah.
Okay, and this isn't okay.
Are you Wedge Antilles?
Nope. But good.
Are you an X-Wing pilot?
No.
Are you? 60 seconds now. Okay, so last question each, and then we can guess. Okay, so we've got male rebel in the original films, though you kind of went, So part of me is kind of thinking they're not a massive part.
You said all 3 films as well, and
I think he's got a sort of like a bit part in all 3 films. Okay, let's see. So,
and they weren't on board. They weren't on board the Falcon.
They were not on board the Falcon.
Okay, so that discounts those guys. So,
is it Wedge?
Nope.
No.
Don't know.
No, I'm
Blank. Go on then, Pete.
Akbar.
Is he in all 3?
He was in the background.
He's not in A New Hope.
He's only in Jedi.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, Pete! What are you doing to this, man?
I thought he was in the background.
What?
He was
Get
in the background of Empire during the retreat.
No, just Jedi. He got introduced to Jedi, and he's in the sequels as well.
Yeah.
Was he?
Pete.
Yeah.
Peter.
Wow.
Peter Ray Allison.
Jedi.
You have just lost all your nerd cards.
Goodness me, that's a massive
hand
failure
them
on my
over,
part.
every single one of them right now. I was sitting there kind of going, who is this person that's not? I know. I was just like,
apologies. I was convinced he was in all 3 of them. Like,
where would he have been in the first one though? Because there's no.
I thought that during when they all gathered round for the assault on the Death Star during the planning, I thought I'd spotted him in the background. Okay, I admit it's been a couple of months since the last watch there, New Hope.
I'm just saying. So let me just in the off chance, Pete, because we were giving you a hard time. I'm gonna get his Wikipedia up, just in the off chance that he's sort of like calamari admiral from the right. Let's see where is it? We got
Mon Cal, I think.
Mon Calamari, Admiral.
You don't see any cows until the 3rd one.
Well, I'm going to bow down to the expert that is Darth Elvis, to be fair. I don't trust Wikipedia compared to Darth Elvis.
Yeah, he's just last appearance, The Last Jedi.
Wow.
Gets blown out of the spaceship when the TIE fighter shoots it. Leia gets sucked out into space and does...
The worst scene in Star Wars history.
I didn't realise that was... I thought that was another Mon Calamari Admiral. I didn't realise it was meant to be Akbar.
Yeah, it's him. And in Rise of Skywalker, there's a Mon Calamari who's Akbar's son.
Yeah.
I want to say like Actib or something like that. Actab.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about Mary Poppins Leia. That upset.
I love The Last Jedi. I'm one of the big Last Jedi lovers. I love it.
I didn't hate it. I just, that moment where she just sort of kind of flew out of, came back and sort of, I love the way they sort of kind of tried to make up for it in the what was the last one called? Rise of Skywalker. So they kind of went like, she was trained with Luke beforehand, so that's where she's got her Jedi powers from, and this is it. So that's the maybe. But even so, it was just like she sort of kind of flies out and then comes back in, and it's just like, That being said, I'm glad she survived, because her moment in The Rise of Skywalker was really, just having that moment in that film was quite a beautiful thing. And The Rise of Skywalker, for me, a lot of people hated it, but for me, it was like the end of an era. Like, it was just my childhood sort of kind of the swan song of it and stuff. And I got quite teary. In fact, my entire family, bar my mother, who was asleep because she sleeps through films, my brother, sister, me crying through it and stuff, just kind of go, it's our childhood over now. That's it, gone. But I'm kind of glad they kept her alive, because part of me was just like, when after The Last Jedi, I was just like, should have just killed her, man. Should have just killed her, not just carried it on. But I'm glad that they did stuff, and I'm glad that Chewie got his medal finally. That was a really big moment for me. It's like Chewie finally got the medal that he deserved.
Yeah, long deserved.
Yeah, long deserved. Okay, so who's your franchise? Are we going for Star Wars again, or are we going for something different?
Let's stay with Star Wars.
Okay, Star Wars. 60 seconds. Go. Original films.
No.
Prequels.
Sequel.
No.
Sequel trilogy.
No.
Cartoons.
TV shows.
What was it?
Cartoons. Are they
Nope.
animated? Sorry, no.
Live action TV shows.
Nope.
Oh, comic books.
Nope.
Books.
Nope.
TV special. No,
Yes.
the holiday special. Sorry, you meant.
Yes.
A holiday special. Okay.
Oh no,
Oh,
not the
dude.
holiday special.
You are evil. You are
Oh man,
evil,
oh god.
evil man.
I try,
I
to,
love
for-
the holiday
I try to
special.
forget that as much as I can. Okay.
Right.
Is
Is it during the live action segments or is it during the?
Yes. Live action.
Okay.
he a part of is he a Wookiee?
No.
Oh.
That would have been good though. I should have done that. Yeah. But
Yeah.
no.
Oh god.
Are
I'm
they
trying to think.
human?
Yes.
Oh. You make me think about the Star Wars holiday special. I will never forgive you for this.
Well, that's 1 minute.
It's the greatest.
That's 1 minute. I have no other guesses because I just try to blank that out completely.
I am Akmina, the B. Arthur from the Golden Girls in the cantina.
Oh yes. Okay.
Well played, sir.
Yeah,
You are
very good.
vicious, evil man.
Yeah. Okay.
I love the Golden Girls. I love holiday special.
Thing is, I can't even argue. It's not obscure because people know about it. They just try to forget about it. It's just one of those things.
I think every Star Wars fan's got a bootleg DVD or video of the holiday special.
Yeah.
No?
I think what did George Lucas say? If he had enough time and enough hammers, he'd go around and try and break every copy of it he could find.
Yeah. It's
Right.
on YouTube.
Yeah,
Nice
yes.
copy.
Yeah, it's gone to the world now. Right, Greg, it's been an absolute privilege again. And good luck with the final gigs. And good luck with Sci-Fi Weekender. Look
Thank you
forward
very
to hearing some of the new tracks. And yeah, by all means, let us know if you've got anything else coming back. And if you do have a comeback, please do come back and let us know.
Well, Dave, thank you very much for having me. And if, I don't know if there's any tickets for Sci-Fi Weekender left, or they tend to sell out early, do they? If there's tickets left, come to the Sci-Fi Weekender and see Darth Elvis and Blues Harvest. And if you're at Celebration Europe in London, get your tickets, axs.com for #Cantina2. My final performance, Last Dang.
Right.
Hot dang.
Right. Well, for me, I've been Matt Geary. With me tonight has been Peter Ellison.
Good night, everyone.
And Greig Robertson.
Hot dang, everyone.
Night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Hi, dang.